Hello, you guys. 2 live chats in one day. What? What? I think I've done it before, but although it's definitely not typical. So, as you guys are coming in, this was like so easy for me to do. I think I made this list in about 2 minutes. Like, it was very easy to come up with. But in all seriousness, in yesterday's video, I was saying, we have to take them off the throne. When I was talking about basically getting your hope back. And a video like this would definitely help you see things that maybe it didn't occur to you. Maybe it did. If it did, good for you. But either way, these are things that, make them pathetic, make them cowards. Okay. And chances are they probably did all of these things in your relationship. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this without further ado. Number 1 on my list is playing the victim. Let me just adjust my mic. They're way too eager to victimize themselves. Brave people, that's not the energy that a brave person is in. Okay. So if you're too eager to victimize yourself, that's very cowardly. And particularly when they're the ones creating all the drama and starting the fires, right? So yeah, victimizing themselves certainly make them a coward. Number 2, not being able to maintain eye contact, especially when there's something serious going on, when there's an intimate moment that's occurring between the two of you. I've even noticed them not making eye contact while talking shit. How much more cowardly can you get than that? So you're going to sit over there and talk shit and you can't even look the person in the eyes while you're doing it. You're sitting over there lying and you can't even look the person in the eyes while doing it. Like, these are like red flags that you guys need to understand in your emotional maturity as well. But the eye contact thing is pretty interesting. And I was supposed to devote like a whole video to that. But yeah, they have an issue with maintaining eye contact. And, it just lets you know about the deception aspect. They're doing it as well out of fear, which ties into the cowardliness, right? And then a lot of times not even valuing the person enough. They're running from the shame and the guilt that you'll be giving them through your eye contact. They're too cowardly to take that in or to even acknowledge it, if you will. So also, I think not giving you that eye contact, they don't want you to pick up on clues, but inadvertently, you're already flagging me for your dishonesty by not being able to look me in the eye. So they're giving up the clues whether they want to or not. But perhaps they feel like the bigger clues are hidden within the eyes. And that's why people say, you can kind of look into someone's soul. And they don't want to be that bare. And they're not really trying to have that intimacy. So the eye contact part, that definitely makes them cowardly. Number 3, you guys, not finishing what they started. That makes them a coward because, this could apply to all types of things, getting someone pregnant, but not being a parent. Not only is it cowardly, but it's hugely reckless to that child, to the family, to the bloodline and society. But, nonetheless, that definitely makes them cowardly. And with them, they'll start off doing very important things. It's like, why do you even need to embark on certain levels of commitment and special projects if you're just going to drop the ball, right? Like a coward. And that's a part of them not taking accountability as well. And hello, Melanie Adams. Welcome to the live chat. Another cowardly things that narcissists do, and this kind of ties into not making eye contact, just on a certain level, is the cyberbullying. They'll bully people. They'll put up horrific content, slander, lie on people, and then disable comments. It just shows you how weak they are. They want to be able to sit up somewhere, run their fucking mouth, and then disable the comments. So that's definitely very cowardly. At least if you're going to go out and spill this and that about someone, at least be bold enough to face the backlash in the comments. So yeah, they're very notorious for that, just hating on people and not even allowing for others to even make comments back to them. But that's just because they can't handle the comments that may come. All right. Number 5 on my list, ghosting people. They don't have the balls to just say, hey, this isn't working out for me. Or, hey, I think the grass is greener over here. This is over. Or, hey, you know what? I'm done with you for now. I might come back later. They don't even have the balls to be that open and honest and transparent with people. So they just ghost and abandon people. And it's the very thing that they are frightened of happening to them, but they're very easy and comfortable about dishing it out to other people. Number 6, the fact that they need a mask at all. Like, why do you need to hide behind anything if you're so big and bad? Why do you need a mask? So yeah, that definitely is going to make them cowardly at that point. Why can't you just be authentic? Why can't it be, it is what it is? I am what I am, right? But nope, they need that mask, baby. So that's definitely cowardly. Number 7, all those lies. These are all connected, but yeah, the fact that they have to rely on so much lying, not being forthcoming, not just, look, it is what it is. Cowardly. Number 8, having such a huge fear of other people's thoughts and perception. Let you in the relationship with them. The first thing that they will be doing as though they are drowning underwater and gasping for air is running to protect their image, running to make sure that you haven't told this one or that one, or they get to do it first. And it's just very cowardly. They're overly concerned with what other people perceive of them, especially, at the end. Number 9, the fact that they even have to abuse people makes them cowardly. We're talking about womanizers right now. We're talking about rapists and, all the ways that people are being abused verbally, physically, financially, sexually, psychologically. So just all of that. So yeah, the fact that they even have to stoop to abusing people and trying to pick out people they feel like they can dominate over, all of these things make them cowardly, and even more so when it's an adult doing this to children. That's an extra level of patheticness and cowardliness. Okay. Number 10, having other people do their dirty work, so, trying to recruit or manipulate people into being their flying monkeys, or, just manipulating people, period, to do the dirty work that they wouldn't or aren't willing to do themselves out of fear of the consequences, fear out of how they're going to look. So they try to get other people to do the dirty work and take the consequences for the dirty work while still serving their agendas. So yeah, not very nice, you guys, but certainly pathetic and cowardly. Number 11, being a sneaky criminal, plotting behind someone's back to steal and rob, and, being a thief. That definitely makes them cowardly. And number 12 I have is being a relationship junkie, or basically they can't stand on their own, or they can't stand alone. For most of them, when we get up to the psychopathic level, a lot of these things, may be questionable, as far as a lot of this may not apply to them. But for all the rest of them, which is many, yeah, can't stand alone. This is why they're already in another relationship before this one is done. And, 2 divorces in 2 years. Like, you look like an idiot. Go sit the fuck down somewhere, just very reckless in their relationships, and People see the patterns. Hey, Anthony Thompson, and welcome to the live chat. I haven't seen you in a while if this is who I think it is. You haven't made a live chat in a while. I think you're one of my day ones. Or is that who I think you are? Because the other one, you had a face to it. I don't know if you took your picture off of here or if you are who I think you are, but that name definitely rings a bell. Hey to Morgan 777. So yeah. Oh, it is you. See, I have a photographic memory. I'm pretty good with visualizing. Like once I see a face, I don't forget it. A name, all of that stuff. And I might not be like, I don't know what the name of that street is, but I know how to get there. I remember how to visually get there. So yeah. Well, hey, honey, it's good to see you. Good. All right. So yeah, them being a relationship junkie and not being able to stand on their own. So this is the codependency, you guys. That's going to be my number 12. And number 13 on my list is not being strong enough to do the work. They're spending their whole life running from themselves and, they're not challenging themselves to evolve. They're enabling themselves to remain the same. And, they're just engaging with their shadow side and choosing to just thrive on that side of the fence forever. So that makes them cowardly and pathetic to me. So that's my list, you guys. I don't know if you guys have anything that you want to add to this, but this is just a basic synopsis here of my thoughts on what makes them cowardly and pathetic. And, I guess if we want to make a 14 here, taking innocent lives, but we could kind of, well, that's more than abusing someone. So I won't put that under abuse. So we can say 14, taking innocent lives, taking innocent lives. And narcissists, they can be trigger happy people, because they don't want to fight fair and square. That's the other thing that you could think about there. So, and then they also, when they're riding off of their feelings and their emotions, it's a end all be all type of thing where something can go from 0 to 100 because they're just running off their emotions. And it's like pulling a trigger and not even thinking less, To Morgan 777 says, how do you stop the hoovering? Stop engaging. And it doesn't mean that they won't make attempts for a little while, but once you start going no contact and they see that there's nothing there for them, they'll get bored eventually because they don't want to just be in a ring with themselves. So, if it's early in your discard and it hasn't been that long since you have communicated or given them some type of energy, you have to basically take it all back and drop off the face of the earth, if you will. I don't know what your relationship with this person is. If you have to work with them, that's a little bit different. And you guys have projects and assignments and meetings and you have to communicate over this and that. Then all you can do then is gray rock and not participate in anything that isn't necessary. But if we're talking about a romantic relationship, and you don't have to deal with them with a child, I don't know your whole situation, but generally speaking, how to stop the hoovering is withdraw your energy first and foremost. And once you're sending them that energy without saying a word, of course, that I'm not fucking with you anymore, you'll see it start to die down, and in most cases. And then sometimes, there are some type of fatal attraction type stuff, and you end up having to get a restraining order against this person because they just aren't getting it. But, typically once you withdraw your energy and you do that consistently, they'll, give it some time and they'll get bored with you. Anthony Thompson's like, here, let me put you guys this question up here. I said I was going to start using this function. So let's show it. Anthony Thompson says, she recently hoovered me and asked me if we can be friends. Hell no, never. I never kept that little self-respect. I will keep what little self-respect? Oh, I don't want to hit. Oh, Anthony. I want your self-respect to be great. And I want you to give yourself more credit. The fact that you can say hell no lets me know that your self-respect is more than little. But she was never your friend to begin with. So no, we can't be friends. That person is trying to, in fact, hoover you and trying to get her little foot back into the door because she wants that old thing back. So yeah, she's one that starts out that way, but she's going to try to push for more. Trust and believe. I feel the energy right around that. Right. And don't say anything else. Don't go back and forth with her, Anthony, or nothing. Now that you told her hell no, leave it right there. Because she's going to try to break your walls down because she feel like, well, at least he's talking to me. I can try to, argue my case when there's nothing to be arguing. Melanie Adams says, that's my ex. His mom always calling me and trying to get us back together. See, you might have to block her behind too. She know her son wasn't right and don't deserve another chance. If that's the case, you might have to, it's very challenging is to stay connected to their family when you're no contact to them. They kind of got to go together because then they'll become a flying monkey. They'll be passing messages, even if you ain't really telling them much or nothing. But a lot of times you got to cut them all off. So, but yeah, if she's not respecting your boundaries and she's still trying to push that agenda, she's working on his behalf, right? Because it's probably what he wants as well. Tamara777 says, I changed my phone number, shut down my Facebook account, and put privacy settings on my Instagram. I did this back in September, and he have showed up about 6 times after. Showed up to your home, perhaps? My whole thing with the Facebook, I say don't do all that shutting down your Facebook and whatnot because, people can make a million accounts. So you don't need to sacrifice or give up anything that you want, even with the phone number, you can change that. People use burner phone numbers and all types of stuff to try to call people. I feel like we shouldn't have to inconvenience ourselves any further per se, but if you want to have your social media, I don't feel like you should have to give that up. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with changing it from public to friends only. Anthony says, I blocked her and then I'm proud of myself. Absolutely. See, she's blocked literally and psychologically, and that's the best thing right there. And Tamara says to her house. Well, shows up and comes up to the actual door and starts trying to get in and stuff, or just driving by, to what extent? It sounds like a stalker. That would be creeping me out. That really would be creeping me out, Tamara. To Morgan. That would creep me out. I hope that you guys, did you have any domestic violence going on in that situation? Because if so, I would definitely try to get a restraining order. I would probably put cameras outside of my house. If I didn't buy my house and I'm only renting it, I would consider moving. I really would. And not disclosing that address to anyone that's attached to his ass. Shoot, I would put a security system up, a camera. Because that would creep me out. 6 months of you blocking him and he's still trying to troll and stuff. Hiding in bushes and stuff. And hello to everyone who's in a live chat right now. Welcome. We've already basically talked about I went down the 14 things that make the narcissist a coward. You're definitely welcome to go back in the beginning. You guys know that I really get to the point. It's in and out. I'm not really a long-winded person. So Tamara says he shows up to the door and they don't have a history of domestic violence. Yeah, but you made it clear to him as well, though, that the relationship is over. So that would still creep me out that he's still doing this after 6 months. He definitely has an issue with respecting boundaries. So I would definitely consider a restraining order with him. Anthony Thompson says they always come back, especially when they know you're starting to feel better. Right. Because what's going to happen is you're going to be better than what the version of you right now is going to be better than the version that she had even back then. So, and that's going to make you that much more appealing for whatever, because if you were good enough then, you're definitely going to be shining right now after taking the lessons with her. So, but you're smarter than that. Well, let me look through something. Does anyone have any questions about their situation? Feel free in the comment section. T Morgan 777 says, one day I was waiting on Lysol to be delivered from Sam's Club, and when I heard the doorbell and opened the door, and it was him. Yeah, he's doing too damn much. He's doing too much. So if he hasn't listened after 6 months, Elle says, thank you for sharing your knowledge. I knew my ex of 20 plus years, but never dated him. But then, wow, I had no clue what I was up for. Wait a minute. I'm trying to understand how long you was with this person. You knew your ex for 20 plus years, but never dated him during that time. But then I guess you did. Okay. Yeah. 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 He could have been a covert one. And sometimes if you're not that up close with them, you won't know. You won't know until you get a little closer. All right, you guys. Right. She's saying she knew him from high school. Yeah. Yeah, but we live and learn, you guys. We definitely live and learn. But the main thing is these guys are cowards. They are cowards. Anyone that would treat people the way that they do is definitely cowardly. Elle says, nothing worse than a female covert narcissist. I married one. I'm sorry, that's not Elle. That's Roddy. Roddy Da Bronx. You from New York? Nothing worse than a female. Okay. So Anthony says, to all my fellow narcs, survivors, hold on. To my fellow survivors, stop having hope and fighting the truth. That's what had me stuck for so long and could not be helped. Yeah. Holding on to the hope that, things were going to work out and having resistance to accepting the truth. Mm-hmm. Okay. I haven't been. No, it wasn't the Bronx. My roommate in college lived in Brooklyn. So during those years, I went to New York here and there because I would let her borrow my car sometimes to go back home from Philly to New York. Yeah. Oh my Lord. God bless you. Well, is your divorce final and you're out of that situation, Roddy? I hope so. And I'm sure she dragged that out and made it hell. Ugh. Roddy says, that's when you're not able to have sad time for yourself because you're always on guard for the cycle. Right. Or when you break up, you're just, you may feel like you're in defense mode because this person is trying to attack your life, your livelihood, trying to ruin your life out of the bitterness. Because narcissistic, females, they have that certain amount of bitterness, that bitterness with them. And if they can't have you, they don't want nobody else to have you, okay? They're trying to ruin your life, hold you up in any way that they can. Yeah, he said he had to get over the trauma bond. T Morgan 777, which are very lucky numbers, says narcissists are like vampires. Either they come to drain you of your happiness, resources, and peace. Yeah, pretty much. She got it right there in a nutshell. Roddy, what you're saying is very subjective right now. He said, I think female narcissists are the worst because of the sexual part. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Kimberly D. Yeah, but you know what, Roddy? Men that come to me in coaching, that is a roadblock for them. I think is the number one roadblock. They always mention it. They always mention that part. But female narcissists understand how men are wired, and you guys, everyone's sexual beings, but men, they remember that person that put it on them. But you have to evolve over that, and her treatment of you should definitely, you would think that it would kill the desire, but so many men still get stuck even though they're getting treated bad. But if the sex is good, it's a stronghold. It ends up being a stronghold. And a lot of men, they don't, get to that higher level or, get elevated above the flesh in that way. It has to become more of a turn off. All of that drama and everything else that's attached to it has to become much more of a turn off. Get you a good girl that don't mind being freaky behind the doors. So, us good women out here, you guys got to get more freakier. These narcissistic women, they want to do backflips and everything. So I think that's part of it too. Don't be too good behind a closed door with your husband. Let me specify, okay? Make sure he's earned that to tap into that. See, narcissistic women, they'll let anybody tap into that, for the supply that they want. So you have to keep that in mind too, Roddy. How many other people was she doing it for? And then she'll be doing it for now. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Yes, they definitely try to ruin your life, especially when it's over. Whatever they can try to, make the divorce take longer, and that's how you could tell. Codependent. Shar Hughes. Oh, she is one of my day ones. It's so good to see you commenting on here. I was wondering about you too. I was like, I hope I could still enlighten her. I was like, did she learn everything she could already? She off? She on to the next, or is she still around? It's good to see you, sweetie. Shar said 100% true facts. Here, let me put your comment up. They will attack your character and deceit and betrayal. Yeah. Yeah, that's the first thing they try to do because, just like one legit told me, I will get you before you get me. Legit told me that. But, in their ignorance, it's like, look, I'm not even out to get you. But they're going to assume that you're like them. And it's like kill or be killed to them. So before you go tell what they're up to, they're going to say you was doing it and hope that other people believe it and think, oh, well, she came to me first, so she must be telling the truth. Some remedial, whatever they think with their psychology and manipulation. Roddy says didn't mean anything disrespectful. No, Roddy. I just had a little joke with it because it's true. A lot of men do come to coaching to me and they are really stuck on the sex that that narcissistic female put on them. So I'm just encouraging the good girls out there to make sure that, when you got somebody good and, you doing what you got to do to please your man too. So, because these narcissistic women, they just... I didn't heard about them. All right, good. Roddy says, in closing, I have enough self-awareness to admit I'm codependent. Let's stay strong out there, yo. My best to you and yours. This is from Roddy. But you don't have to stay codependent. Codependency is just not like some disease that has to plague the rest of your life, Roddy. Find the content that I have on this channel, and there's lots of content, period, on, understanding what codependency is and how to heal from it. Okay. So yeah, you can just be your codependent for a season and you can overcome that. All right. Shar Hughes says, hey, Lakia, you have enlightened me. Lakia, I just got finished writing my book. Okay. Getting it drafted and published. Hopefully my book will be out soon. Well, absolutely let me know when. Let me know when. I would love to read it. That's awesome. See what happens when we're not distracted with a toxic narcissist, trying to derail us from our destinies and, wonderful goals that we can be achieving in life. Oh, wait a minute. Someone said, be strong, Chrisy C. Did I miss something? Chrisy C says, the narc will use anything to get you or to blame you. Yeah. But, it's projection, you guys, because they don't want to be outed. So they're going to try to blame you first. That's the cowardliness right there. They're afraid that they're going to get outed. Hadar Kadush says, yes, girl, preach. My divorce was final last week. Oh my gosh. Did you have a party? Like, seriously. I would have had a big ass party with one of those divorce cakes with the hatchet and the what? My divorce was final last week from the narcissist after 8 years of that mess. Oh, Lord. They don't care about how they treat you and what they say or do, right? Well, good for you. Good for you. Like, it's one thing to be out of the relationship, but it's another thing to not have any legal ties or none of that. I know that feels amazing. Like, I would have some type of celebration for that. Aw. Anthony says, it's been a year and my flesh still craves her sickening. Well, Anthony, what I'm going to advise you is to start researching how to break soul ties. That's a very spiritual thing. So I want you to start researching how to break soul ties. All right. There's spiritual cleanses that a person can do. I don't know, your spirituality or anything like that. I don't know how you've cleansed the air of her. And then, continuing to work on your psyche. But yeah, I would research breaking soul ties. I would start there, Anthony, if you haven't done it yet, I would start there. And also will warn you, like some men, they'll just try to sleep with someone else and that usually doesn't work because there's a psychological thing going on and a spiritual thing. So sleeping with someone else isn't always, going to be the answer. So I'll forewarn you to that. But just research breaking soul ties for starters. Shoot, sometimes you might even need a whole new damn bed, okay? Like sometimes you really got to cleanse that energy or whatever space that woman was in with you. Aw, thank you. Aw. Awesome. Can't wait to read it, Shar. Chrisy C says, I'm codependent and have to get over the trauma bond. 33 years. Wow. And but it's not going to take me that long to get over narcissism. Good. That's a lot of time, hon. I hope that you're in therapy for that. That's going to be very helpful. Anthony says he's taken off the rosy colored glasses. Good. No, she never loved you. She never loved you. She was never your queen, okay? Right. And, them narcissists, they want those demons to attach to you. So you got to make sure it's not still attached to you, Anthony. Because once you've done enough work, it'll get to the point where you actually want to throw up when you think about her. You'll be disgusted by her filth. To Morgan 777 says the narcissist got his ex-wife pregnant and still expected me to stick around after I found out. He said I was the only one he was sleeping with. Clearly not. Yeah, and that's a clear lie. Yeah, they're very entitled. And Anthony, make sure you're not putting the sex over your self-respect as well. That can't be greater than all the other things that were going on in a relationship, those toxic dynamics. So sometimes it's a perception shift that needs to occur. Like someone can't just treat you like dirt and then because you had fleshful sex, that's more powerful or overriding it. And I understand psychologically because you're releasing these hormones and that a dopamine or, that orgasm you had with her may have seemed greater or felt more powerful than all the pain that she was causing you. But it's actually not the case. I mean, sex is definitely a drug. Sex can be a drug. I fulfilled the topic of the live chat, and I'm not really the one that likes to run topics into each other. I like to keep, I don't want to get into another topic per se on here. But before I go, if anyone has, any more questions or anything, I'll gladly answer them. Anthony says he will never lay down with her again. I know better. Right. And STDs are real, honey. You don't know what she's doing right now. And be thankful you don't have a child with her. So you got to think about all the consequences and things that you could be exposing yourself to by having that one more rendezvous with her. And then getting yourself emotionally entangled with her again. All of that. Good. Sylvia says now she doesn't have any desire. Yeah. When you're seeing the whole picture, you should get turned off. Like literally want to throw up. And there's no type of outwardly physical beauty that this person can have that would overshadow the ugliness of their inner beauty at that point. Chrisy C says it's definitely a drug and the narcissist's high supply was at 3 and at any given time. Yeah. Well, they understand. They understand how people emotionally bond through it, but they're not really doing it. This is someone that's actually trying to put their feelings into it. Even though anyone can catch feelings because, everyone's releasing those hormones, but I think they may be getting released at different degrees depending on the person. I think it comes out in different degrees. Yeah, but they understand that, and that's why they try to get you to have sex as soon as possible. They understand the power of it. We just have to understand it too. Anthony Thompson said, one last thing. Thank you for everything you have done. Without you, I would not survive the last year. Yeah. Aw. Well, that's definitely what my channel is for. Lots of content, you guys. Make sure you're subscribing and liking and sharing the content. All right, you guys. Thank you for stopping in. I don't know if I'll be back on here or not. You never know with me, but always make sure that you're hitting the bell and subscribe so that you will be notified. Revisit your bell and make sure you're hitting it. Shar says that's how they bait you with sex during the love bombing phase. They do the bait and switch on you. Absolutely. Right. And it's so disgusting when you really figure it out. You wish you could take it back because they don't deserve that part of you. And they were just trying to manipulate you through it. All right, you guys. Take care until the next time, you guys. Have a good evening.